Ferrari has made a surprising and controversial decision that could completely change the course of Lewis Hamilton's debut season with the team. Instead of bringing the long-awaited SF25 upgrade package to the Miami Grand Prix, Ferrari has decided to hold off and delay those updates until the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. At first, this might seem like a simple strategic adjustment, but when we look deeper, the implications are massive. This is not just about timing. This is about how Ferrari is handling a critical moment in Hamilton's transition and what it says about their priorities and future direction. After another difficult weekend in Jeddah, where Hamilton finished seventh and was well behind his teammate Charles Leclerc, there was a growing sense of urgency around the need for performance upgrades. Hamilton has been vocal about his struggles with the SF25, describing the car as unpredictable and incompatible with his driving style. For a seven-time world champion used to fighting for wins, being stuck in the midfield, unable to find answers, is a frustrating and painful experience. He even cancelled personal plans to fly straight back to Maranello to work with engineers, showing just how seriously he's taking this challenge. The SF25 has not responded well to Hamilton's typical strengths, his late braking, ability to rotate the car into corners, and fine throttle control have all been neutralized by a car that just doesn't behave the way he needs it to. The handling is off, the balance is unpredictable, and the car's feedback during critical parts of the lap is confusing. While Hamilton is fighting the car in every session, Leclerc appears to have found a better connection with it. He's been scoring podiums, staying consistent, and has a clear edge in performance and confidence. That contrast between the two drivers becomes even more important when we understand why Ferrari has delayed the upgrades. Team principal Fred Vasseur explained that because Miami is a sprint weekend, there's very little practice time available, just 1 hour before qualifying. This short schedule doesn't leave much room to properly test and understand new parts. According to Vasseur, it's simply not the right time to take risks. The decision on the surface seems reasonable, but it also raises important questions. If Ferrari knew Miami would be a tough place to debut upgrades due to limited track time, why didn't they plan to bring the updates earlier? Or, more importantly, why didn't they create a smaller, more focused update package designed specifically to help Hamilton get on top of the car's issues sooner? Instead, they've chosen to wait for Imola, which is still a couple of weeks away. That means Hamilton will go into yet another race weekend with the same problems he's been dealing with since Bahrain. That's not just frustrating, it's a clear message about where Ferrari's focus is right now. In Formula One, momentum is everything. Drivers build confidence through results, and teams build strategies based on performance data. Right now, Leclerc is delivering results. He's fifth in the championship with 47 points, while Hamilton is in seventh with just 31 points and no top 5 finishes. That performance gap is becoming more significant, and it's starting to affect how Ferrari distributes resources and attention. It's becoming clear that the team is backing the driver who's extracting more from the SF25, and right now, that's not Hamilton. There are also internal factors to consider. Ferrari's technical director, Enrico Cardile, reportedly had concerns about the dynamic balance of the SF25 and pushed to delay the Bahrain upgrade. That cautious mindset appears to have influenced the Miami decision as well. Rather than experiment and adapt quickly, Ferrari seems to be choosing a more careful approach. That might work for some teams and drivers, but Hamilton has always thrived on fast development and constant feedback. This conservative strategy might not be what he needs to succeed. It's also worth noting that Ferrari's plan to bring the upgrade to Imola adds a lot of pressure. They're now relying on a single race weekend to deliver a major performance turnaround. That's a risky move, especially in a sport where weather, accidents, or technical issues can disrupt even the best-prepared plans. By skipping Miami, Ferrari is putting all its hopes on a flawless rollout at Imola. If the upgrades don't work as expected, or if conditions aren't ideal, that could be a serious blow to Hamilton's hopes for the season. Hamilton didn't join Ferrari just to compete. He joined to win, to fight for championships, and to cement his legacy in a red suit. But right now he's battling a car that won't respond, struggling to find confidence, and seeing his teammate move further ahead in both points and performance. And with Ferrari choosing not to give him the tools he needs right now, There's a growing sense that he's not the top priority. That's a dangerous situation for any team, especially one that brought in a 7-time world champion to lead them into a new era. The emotional toll of this situation shouldn't be underestimated. Every race where Hamilton finishes behind his teammate, every session where the car doesn't improve, adds to the frustration. Over time, this affects the relationship between driver and team. Communication becomes strained, trust is tested, and the vision they started with begins to blur. Hamilton is putting in the work, flying to Maranello, working with engineers, logging hours on the simulator. But without the right car beneath him, even the best efforts can feel wasted. Ferrari needs to be careful. They've created a high-stakes environment where everything now depends on what happens at Imola. If the upgrades deliver, they might save the season. But if they don't, the consequences could be serious. Questions will be asked about the direction of the team, the role Hamilton plays in their future, and whether this bold partnership was the right move. The romantic story of Hamilton in red could quickly turn into a narrative of frustration and missed opportunities. Meanwhile, the rest of the grid isn't waiting. McLaren is showing signs of strong development. Red Bull remains dangerous even with off-track distractions. And Mercedes, despite their own internal struggles, are capable of finding pace. In this fast-moving environment, standing still is the same as falling behind. Ferrari's decision to delay the Miami upgrade is a gamble that might cost them more than just one race weekend. This situation also raises broader questions about Ferrari's development philosophy. Are they building a car around their drivers, or are they asking the drivers to adapt to the car? Right now it seems like the latter. Leclerc is making it work because the SF25 suits his style better. But that means Hamilton is being left to figure it out on his own, without the support of upgrades tailored to his needs. That's not how top teams operate when they believe a driver is central to their future. Hamilton needs more than just patience. He needs evidence that Ferrari is willing to meet him halfway. He needs to see that the team is willing to adjust, to experiment, and to evolve the car in a direction that brings out his strengths. Otherwise, this partnership will never reach its full potential. Waiting until Imola might be Ferrari's way of playing it safe, but in doing so, they risk sending the wrong message to the very driver they worked so hard to bring into the team. When we arrive at Imola, the stakes will be higher than ever. Hamilton will be under pressure to perform. The team will be under pressure to deliver, and the world will be watching to see if Ferrari's cautious strategy pays off. But if the upgrades fail to bring the needed change, or if the gap to Leclerc remains wide, then we might be facing the beginning of a larger crisis. Because in Formula One, confidence is everything. Once it's lost, it's hard to recover. Ferrari must now navigate this situation carefully, or risk alienating one of the most experienced and decorated drivers in the sport. Hamilton's future with Ferrari could be shaped by what happens in just one race weekend. That's how much weight this decision carries. At the end of the day, Ferrari's decision not to bring upgrades to Miami is more than a technical choice. It's a statement. A statement about timing, about risk, and about which direction the team is choosing to take. Whether that direction leads to success or disappointment will depend on what happens next. But one thing is clear. The partnership between Hamilton and Ferrari is at a crossroads, and the road ahead could define not just the rest of this season, but the legacy of this ambitious and high-profile union.